All right, welcome to The Explainer. Most of us know our target retirement age, right? But today we're going to break down a question that's so often overlooked, yet it has these massive financial consequences. What month will you retire? Well, it turns out this one choice can dramatically shape one of the most important financial years of your entire life.
Okay, so let's just dive right into a question that honestly, most people planning for retirement never even think to ask. You've probably spent ages thinking about the age you'll retire, but the specific month you stop working? That is an incredibly powerful financial lever, and we're about to see exactly why. So first things first, you've got to understand that your retirement year is financially weird. It's completely unique. It's not like any other year of your working life or your retired life. Financial planners actually have a name for it. They call it the transition year. And that's because it's the one time when all these different income sources just collide on a single tax return.
So what happens in this weird year? Well, all of your different income streams can just pile up, one on top of the other. You've got your salary from work, maybe you get a bonus, payouts for all that unused vacation time, and then boom, your first pension and Social Security checks start coming in. This creates a big problem that we call the income stack. Okay, and this is where it gets really clear. Just look at the dramatic difference your timing makes. If you retire late in the year, say in December, you've already earned a full year's salary, plus all those bonuses and payouts. Then you might even add your first retirement checks on top of that. Now look at the other side. Retiring in February means only a couple months of wages even show up on your tax return. This single choice totally dictates whether your transition year is a super high income year or a nice low income year. So why do we care so much about this? Because that high income stack you get from a late year retirement, it's not just about paying a bit more in taxes one time. Oh no. It triggers this whole cascade of unexpected and often hidden financial consequences, and it all starts with how your Social Security is treated. One of the first and biggest dominoes to fall is your Social Security. When your income is sky high in that retirement year, you're almost guaranteed to have the maximum amount of your benefit. A whopping 85% of it suddenly become taxable income. You're basically throwing that new Social Security income right on top of the pile in a year where your income is already peaking. Not ideal, right? So how does the IRS figure this out? Well, they use this formula called provisional income, and it includes your wages, any withdrawals, other income, the whole shebang. By retiring late in the year, you're just inflating this number, which in turn maximizes the tax you're going to pay on your Social Security. But wait, there's more. The financial hits unfortunately don't stop there. Let's move on and see how this whole thing builds into a really costly surprise that a lot of new retirees face, and it's all tied to Medicare. A lot of people think their Medicare premium is just set in stone. Nope. The government uses an income-based surcharge called IRMAA, and a high-income year can trigger this penalty, adding hundreds of dollars to your monthly premiums. But the real problem here isn't just the cost, it's the timing. And this is the real kicker. This is the trap. IRMAA isn't based on what you're making now. It's based on your income from 2 years ago. So that high-income retirement year in 2025, it doesn't actually trigger the penalty until 2027, long after you've stopped earning that high income. It's a penalty for income you're not even making anymore. How frustrating is that? Okay, so that's the bad news. How do we fix this? How do we flip the script? Well, by retiring early in the year, you don't just avoid problems, you actively create brand new opportunities. This is where we go from playing defense to playing offense with your financial plan. And the strategy, honestly, it's incredibly simple but so powerful. By choosing an early retirement month, let's say January or February, you intentionally create a low-income transition year on purpose. And doing this opens the door to some of the most powerful long-term planning strategies that are available to retirees.
So what's the biggest prize you can win with this strategy?
For a lot of people, it's the Roth conversion. This is where you move money from a traditional tax-deferred IRA over to a tax-free Roth IRA. The whole point is to do this when your tax rate is low. And earlier retirement gives you this prime golden window to do these conversions at a much, much lower tax rate.
And I really want to stress this. We are not talking about pocket change here. This isn't a few $100. Getting this timing right, doing your Roth conversions in a low-income year instead of a high-income one, can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars in taxes over your entire retirement.
Okay, so this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But there is one really important trade-off we have to talk about, and it has to do with protecting your investment portfolio in that super critical first year. Think about it like this. If you retire late in the year, like December, you've been living off your salary for 11 months. You only need to pull money from your portfolio for one single month. This really reduces your exposure to market downturns in that fragile first year, a risk we call sequence of returns risk. So the strategic question becomes, which is more important for your plan? Is it maximizing those huge tax benefits of retiring early, or is it minimizing portfolio withdrawals in year one by retiring late? It's a key trade-off, and it's definitely worth discussing with a financial advisor. And on top of all those big financial items, there are a bunch of other kind of overlooked benefits to good timing. For example, you can get a much cleaner transition for your healthcare. And who wants to deal with the headache and cost of overlapping insurance deductibles? Nobody. Some pension plans might even credit you for a full year of service, even if you only work one day into the new year. And finally, let's not ignore the emotional side. An early year retirement can feel like a genuine fresh start, helping you avoid that end-of-career burnout.
All right, let's bring this all home. What's the big takeaway for you and your own retirement plan? Well, it's really about a fundamental shift in how you look at your retirement date.
The most important thing I want you to remember from all of this is that your retirement month isn't just a date on a calendar. It is a tool. It's one of the most powerful financial levers you can pull at this huge life transition. And that right there is the heart of it. This is about shifting your mindset. You're moving from a defensive one, just trying to dodge penalties and avoid mistakes, to an offensive one, where you intentionally set yourself up to win, creating a low-income year to unlock tax savings and other advantages for the long run. At the end of the day, when you choose your retirement month with intention, you are taking back control of that crucial first year. And believe me, that first year really does set the financial tone for the next 20 or 30 years. The power to shape that year is entirely in your hands. So the only question left is, how will you begin yours?